So what I'm going to do now, from the last video, we got our ball moving. If I hit play on this, you'll see that our ball moves, but it doesn't hit anything up at the top. Now, we could actually program the top of this because we know the top is 0, right? So this is y going up equals 0, and x is 0 right here. So anything up this way is 0. So we can check to see if it's 0, go ahead and return. So inside of our check collisions right here, we can create some variables called walls, and we can give those variables, you know, sort of the dimensions of the actual walls or wherever we want to stop the ball from going. So I think from here, we'll go up here and then we'll create some variables right underneath the ball. And I'm going to call that private wall. And I'm going to make a top. I just want to see that work. And I'm going to make that as a double. And I'm going to call it 0 because I know the top wall is 0. So now from there, I'm going to go down here into my loop, into my game loop, or my collision, sorry, not in the game. The collision is currently in the game loop anyway, so I can just go work here in my collision. And I'm going to go ahead and test and see if the ball translate y is less than the wall top. So I'm going to say if ball underscore translate dot y, if that is less than wall top, and yeah, then I'm going to go ahead and return that. I'm going to go ahead and return the ball speed y, and I'm going to multiply that by -1. Multiply equals -1. So basically what this is going to do is going to take ball speed -1, and whatever it is, it's going to multiply it by -1, which will invert the number. So if it's going forward, it'll go backwards. If it's going backwards, it'll go forward. So we should see some result of this code here. So let's go ahead and run it and see what happens. Yes. So we at least got our top wall. Now what we need is something that's side wall over there. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to, we'll call that left wall. So I have this top wall. I'm going to call this wall. I'm going to keep everything starting with wall. So I'm going to say wall left. Like that. And wall left is also 0 because, as we said before, this right here, this row is the 0x, and this row is the 0y going down this way. 0x is going across that way. So I should get some results from that after I go down into my loop. And I'm going to take this same concept and I'm going to go ahead and do that with the ball left. So if I were to take this and just change this y to x, and I'm going to say greater than or equal to, not wall top, but wall left. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, instead of speed y, I'm say speed x, and then everything is exactly the same. So I'm going to run that. Now I have there, and it hits that wall, and it goes to the bottom. So all I got to do now is the right side. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and type that out. Okay, so what we have here now is we have our translate x wall left, wall right, and a wall top. Now what I did was, because I'm making all those walls, I made sure I put the variables up here, set the variables up there. But then what I did was I made this procedure here called set walls. That procedure I put all the way down here. called set walls. And this is what it looks like. Basically, I have my wall, I create my wall right, and it's going to be the main canvas's width minus the width of the ball plus the buffer. And the wall top will be plus equals wall top and the ball height. So I take this and I make sure I run that inside of the initialization right after I create the balls. It has to be after I create the balls because it's referencing the balls and the walls. So, well, the canvas. So that's why it has to be after. If it was before, you may run into some errors. So the order of this counts. So here's where my collision and everything is happening. And then when I run that, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. So when I run that, I get this collision going up, down, and everywhere now. I have all my collisions and I have my angle on my paddle. Now, what I need to be able to do when the ball goes off the screen, I want it to start back up again. So with that being the case, I'm going to need something like a ball bottom or wall bottom. So I'm going to have to go here and create myself a private wall. I'm going to consider that to be the bottom. It's a double. Now with that wall bottom there, I'm going to go into my set walls, which is all the way at the bottom, right here, my set walls procedure. And I'm going to go ahead and create my wall bottom. Oops. And the wall bottom will equal the main canvas height. That's it. So now I have my wall bottom, and now I want to go ahead and go inside of here and type out what it means, what happens when it reaches the wall bottom. So we'll go ahead and put that below all of this, and I'm going to say if translate, if not translate, if ball underscore translate dot y. If that is greater than the wall bottom, then I want to reset. But I want to reset it in the center. Actually, I'll just reset it all the way at the top. Yeah, I'll just reset it at the top. So I'll say ball underscore translate dot y equals 0. And then ball translate dot x equals 0. I just wanted to start all over. All right, so let's see if that works. Let's run this. And I'm just going to let it fall. And it starts at the top. But look at that. That's weird. See how that happens? And I'm glad it started at the top. Now, the reason why it's doing this, I like to look at that. Now, the reason why it's doing this is because when the ball gets all the way up here, all the way at the top of the screen, right? So let's say the ball is all the way at the top of the screen, and it gets a little bit above the top of the screen. Let me insert a shape here. So let's pretend like this is the screen. I'm gonna give it a different. So the ball is moving towards the top of the screen. Then it gets to this point. It gets a little bit past that and it says, whoa, it's past the top of the screen. And then it tries to go back. But the reason why it can't go back because it's also less than the top of the screen. So it stays like this. It keeps going up and down like that. That's why it looks like it's rolling. So what we need to do is say once it gets here and speed is 0, then it can go back this way. So we need to check for the speed, and that's why it's going nuts like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click stop here. And I'm going to check for the speed for that wall top there. So I need to go here to my wall top, and I'm going to say ball and ball speed x. No, top ball speed y is less than 0. So let's run this. Let it miss. And there we go. It doesn't do that crazy thing anymore. Now I can do the rest. I can do that actually for, see, it does it over there too. See how it's doing it over there? So I need to do the same thing for those sides. And I need to check for that ball speed on all those sides. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say, and ball speed x over here is less than 0. That's good. And then over here, I'm going to say ball speed x. Ball. Ball speed x is less than 0. Ball speed x is greater than 0. So I'm checking both of those. I don't need to check the bottom because that's, you lose the point anyway. So now I shouldn't get any of those, that crazy movement. There we go. And we got our angles going on. We pretty much got ourselves a game going on here. Now all we need to do is add the bricks. So if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you leave some comments in the comment section below. If any of this was confusing, make sure you ask me the questions in the comment section. And make sure you've watched the previous videos before this because you're going to be lost if you haven't watched those videos. I'll see you guys next time.